Diecast Norbs is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some shit. Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Hello, everyone out there, to all of my fantastic galactic hooligans and our Transformers hooligans out there. It's time for another episode of Diecast Norbs Galactic Hooligan. And I'm really happy that you're actually joining me today. I'm sorry I was actually away for such well, I wouldn't actually call it a long hiatus, but it was actually a short hiatus. I do admit that. A lot of things are actually happening in my personal life where I will be changing venues sooner or later and everything, but that's actually neither here nor there. You'll actually see it once I'm actually ready. And also, I got a chance to travel over to Michigan to see some of my girlfriend's family and friends and everything. Got a chance to partake in a fantastic wedding ceremony, and it was really fantastic. I love weddings, I love the coming together of two people and everything like that in love, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm actually all about. I'm kind of like a sucker for romances, But while I was getting ready to go away, I found Rhinox over here in Target and everything, and I wasn't able to get a review out, but here I am making up for lost time. And I'm actually going to be comparing him with what I'm actually going to call Chad Rhinox here, because so far I already have my favorite, and I'm actually kind of feeling as though this guy will actually far outshadow this one, So, kick back, relax, grab a snack, and join me for my comparison between two Rhinoxes. And welcome to my show. If you haven't already, please click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. Every bit helps. Also remember, we're still in COVID-19 territories. Be a hero and wear a mask. We are still in COVID-19 territory and everything. And now with the Delta variant out there and everything, I just want to make sure that everyone is actually safe. Keep everyone safe out there and everything. Make sure that you are protecting loved ones, family, friends, your arch enemies, because they are always making shit happen in your life. So, back to the review. Alright, and here we go. We're actually going to take a good look at Rhinox from the Transformers Kingdom line. He is a pretty okay guy, but I really am just like a fiend of this other version of Rhinox, and I think you might have actually heard of him. He's Rhinox from Thrilling 30 of Transformers, and I am really loving that guy so much that I'm actually having kind of like a comparison contrast between the both of them, Now I saw that T-Man 978 actually, T-Man 578 actually had a version of this review that I'm actually doing, and I'm actually coming at it from like a difference in stance and everything like that. I already feel as though this version of Rhinox is actually the king of them all and everything. The Chad, if you will, but really, they're both interesting in what they actually do. I still hold my position as having this one as the best one of both of them and everything. So I decided to do old Diecast Norbs colors with new Diecast Norbs colors, in which case I'm actually reviewing the older toy and the newer version of Rhinox, and I really hope you like what I'm actually going to do here and everything, So far, just based on the model itself and everything like that, I really love this version of Rhinox. He actually has a lot of personality. I love that face right there and everything, that face right there just says it all and everything. I think he's actually modeled after the, I think now extinct white rhino, and like just from everything that we're actually getting here and everything like that, they did such a great job and everything. We actually have like this plastic right over here, this malleable plastic that's actually used for the tail and for the rear hind part of him and everything. I could never really get this part of mine to actually just like sit flush and everything like that, but again, it's actually because of this more malleable plastic and everything, but really just loads of personality in this guy. And one of the things that I actually loved most about this is the fact that this piece right over here, whenever you move it, he actually kind of like has this thing where he can actually kind of like open his mouth and everything like that. I thought that was one of the best things about this figure and everything. He actually has like a bit of articulation. You actually have this right over here where you can actually like just move the front of his legs. You actually have a little bit of articulation back over here. Not much, but also with this version of Rhinox here, let me clear that up for you. With this version of Rhinox, I don't know if he's actually modeled after the black rhino, but also there's like a lot of ambiguous rhino cues that they actually put over here and everything like that. As with the white rhino, you actually have like a lot in the way of like the way the hump of the back is supposed to curve into the back of the rear quarters. And the attention to detail that they actually made over here with the horns, just really, really nice. I love that. With this version, it's actually kind of cool. It's nice. One of the things that I actually don't like about him is the fact that he kind of looks like Rhino number 5. You know what I mean? Like, he's actually kind of like any ambiguous rhino that you could actually see in any show, Not really loaded with a lot of personality, in my opinion. You actually have the red eyes over here. That's kind of cool. He actually does open his mouth and everything, so that's actually kind of nice. Not as, say, wide as this Rhinox actually does, loaded with personality as he actually is. You can almost feel as though he's actually going to be like, Rhinox, maximize, and then just do his whole transformation thing and everything like that, which is awesome on this guy. This guy kind of like misses out on that and everything, and also because of his transformation. But everything is actually kind of like all shell. It's all hard plastic and everything like that all around the place. You actually do have like a little bit of articulation on this guy also. He can actually move his arms out minimally. He actually has this thing that he can actually do, but it breaks up the illusion of him being a rhino and everything like that, and just looks like he actually has like a motor on the inside of him and everything. So that's kind of okay. I mean, that's kind of like okay and a shame also. You also have like minimal movement right over here by the rhino's knee and everything like that, and you actually do have like a little bit of up and down on the head over here, but again, this mouth over here just kind of like makes me feel as though it's just lacking so much and everything, as say opposed to this Rhinox right over here that actually has so much more going for him. I love the way they actually handled all the armoring and the flaps and everything like that of his skin and everything. Even this, like down to like the nostrils and everything like that that's actually in this guy and everything. His eyes kind of like makes me feel as though they're alive, and the way they actually modeled the ears over here, I love this, and as a person who actually really loves rhinos and everything I really think that this guy is actually so great. He's like just beast-like and everything. With this version, he kind of like makes me feel as though this is actually kind of like one of those rhino clones that I'm actually hearing that they were actually working on, complete with like the smaller legs and everything, But in comparison, they're both great toys and everything, It depends on what you're actually looking for. I know that the Thrilling 30 version of Rhinox is actually going for so much more in the aftermarket now. So if you're actually looking to actually get a Rhinox that's actually here now and something that can actually fill a space in your Rhinox and in your Rhinox collection and everything, or in your Beast Wars collection, definitely like go for this guy right over here, But again, side by side, I really love the way Thrilling 30 actually came out here and everything. Just great. I'm going to give you a transformation on both of these guys all together, and then you will see which one is actually the more superior of all both Rhinoxes. Starting off with Thrilling 30 Rhinox, I like to do this. So I'll actually just start going into it by releasing a couple of tabs right over. Oh, actually, let's start off over here. We'll actually move this part of the flap and everything, right? And now we're going to go into his abdominal area right over here. And right over here is where you'll actually see his guns and everything like that. And that's great. I love that storage there. And you actually take these out right under here and everything. They really just like slip right through there and everything. And when you actually do, you actually have a pair of just really beautifully styled weapons and everything like that, you know? Don't mind me here. I'm just, this is actually just par for the course here. Just let me just reinstall that. And all you have to do is just do that. And there we go. Fully styled weapons and everything. There. Just everything about these guns are actually really amazing. And they actually also have this little piece of articulation right over here where they actually form like kind of like that Gatling and everything like that. That's very cool. I love that so much about both of these weapons. That being said about these weapons, we're actually just going to put these to the side and continue the transformation for Rhinox here. So now, all we want to do is start off by releasing the back ends of the hide here. We're just going to move this up. We're going to bring this down. We're going to come back over here, release his toes, bring them down, bring this all the way down into his feet here. Just get right over there. And that's actually one of his feet already formed, and his feet and legs. I really love that. So we'll actually go down here and we'll do the same thing on the other side. And again, feet and legs, just we'll edge this out right over here. This is a piece that actually goes right underneath here, and this is actually his lower torso. We'll actually just give that a spin, which is awesome. Now, when I first got this Rhinox, he was loose as fuck. But I decided to like go off and go get the, and I actually used like Kiki's, I actually used the Kiki Fix Loose Joints and everything to actually fix everything over here. So he doesn't really topple down as much as he used to or anything like that, which is great. Sorry about that. Bring out the toe. Which is great, you know. So like I actually have like a lot more stability in my version of Rhinox than like a lot of people actually do and everything, you know. But that's actually to be said, like you should actually, if you're going to look for Rhinox, the thing about this version of him is that you should always just make sure you tighten the joints and everything, and you'll be super happy with him. So let's just pull the arms out right over here on this arm. There's an arm that's actually right over here. We'll split the head, which this piece right over here goes into the back of the rhino head, and we'll bring the rhino head down. We'll bring the lower hide right in there, and that'll actually rest right against his back. Then just snap this in. Now, one thing that I didn't mention is that this piece right over here kind of like flaps down, so that actually becomes like the piece of his lower torso. And just bring that in, bring down the mouth, which is brilliant. And now just bring this in. We'll accordion this in like this, and we'll accordion this side in like so. There we are. And now when you're extending this, it locks in. So all you want to do is bring it out and just make sure it locks. When you're bringing it back into Rhino mode, it won't stay, it stays stable, but like not if you actually don't lock it in. So that's a lock, and now we're just bringing it out, and then we're locking it in there, and we're giving the front of the forelegs just a little bit of a spin, and this is where his hands actually come out. Brilliant storage right there. Beautiful as can actually be. And now we're actually going to do the same thing on this side. Just bring that out a little bit and just fish the hands out. And there we go. And that is your Thrilling 30 Rhinox, and he is awesome. And I'm gonna give you a good review on this guy in just a second. But again, this is my choice, and here we are. I'm just gonna set this guy right over here and give him his pistols, and then we're actually gonna go straight into Kingdom Rhinox. For Kingdom Rhinox. Now, I know there's a lot of contention when it actually comes down to his transformation. They actually made like a couple of like interesting decisions when it actually comes down to his lower legs and everything, which is made up of like the lower part of his torso. So this is what happened. Yesterday's Norbs actually tried fiddling around with Rhinox, and he fucked up. And I'm sorry about that. But I actually noticed, today's Norbs actually noticed that there's a lot more that actually goes on to this guy, and he follows a certain system. So I'm gonna redo this part of the video. So after I reshoot, I'll actually edit this in. I'm sorry again. Diecast Norbs, with the consummate professionalism that he actually is deciding to do a part 2 on this retake and everything. And yesterday, I was actually kind of like, fiddling around with this guy as much as I actually fiddled around with my camera here, you know? But I was actually fiddling around with this guy, and yesterday, the transformation of the back of the legs gave me so much, like, I don't even know what the word is and everything, where I was cringing on every single corner that I was. And Thrilling 30 Rhinox, being the badass that he actually is and everything, because he is a badass. Look at this guy right over here, just like standing over, just like looking heroic and everything like that. Look at this guy, look at him, you know? But this guy still ain't half bad. And I'm actually gonna take a quick thing into the transformation of this guy and everything like that. And let's see, let's just start by opening this up right over here, opening up these two flaps, opening this thing up right over here. This is where we're actually gonna get his weapons, and I'm actually gonna separate it, and there we go. Again, not as dynamic as, say, Thrilling 30's Rhinox's weapons and everything, you know, but it's still, I mean, it's still a thing. They can actually use them as saws and everything like that. I kind of wish that they actually had like a little bit of a spin over here or something where he could actually use them as hand blades or something, you know? That would have actually been cool, but I'm going to put this to the side right now. And Kingdom Rhinox actually follows a certain suit of like different, of like very regimented in how he actually transforms. And for this, I'm gonna unlock him right by his belly right over here. There's a piece of the rhino's rib that we're actually just going to loosen up from a peg right under here, and we're actually going to bring this out. That will actually enable you to move his feet and this part of the leg. Now this part of the leg, we actually want to start moving inwards like this. Okay, so I see what the issue is. You actually have to get it past here first. So it shouldn't actually matter whether or not you actually put the rhino leg in first. You just have to get it past this point. And I don't know if you can actually see this. I'm going to clear up my camera here a little bit more so you can actually see what I'm actually doing it interiorly. And you just have to get this right past this knee right here in order for you to open this up. There we are. We're going to take this right off from the notch over here. There's a little peg that actually pegs the foot right in here. I'm actually going to say this right off the bat. This version of Rhinox is cool, but he's not as fun as I'd actually like him to be. But here we go. Finally, getting this leg down, and then we're actually going to peg this right in here. If you actually do anything about, hold on. oh, if you actually do this, you're not going to get that peg in as much as you'd actually like to, but now it's actually starting to work for me, and it's actually making me look like I'm lying to all of you. But anyway, so here we go. We're actually going to try to do this again. We are going to get this past this point. There we go. See, you actually have to do that first. Then we'll actually get this rhino leg in here by bringing it in, rotating it, and putting it right down into this cavity. We'll bring this hind piece in and lock it in here. Then we're going to rotate this out of here. Haha. And let's see. We're going to take this foot, bring it out and down, and there we are. And I think I figured it out. Hold on. Let's just get this foot out of the way. Bring this in. Bring it down. And hold on. Wait. Did I figure it out? I'm a genius. There we go. So that's what you actually need to do for Rhinox. It's really kind of complicated with how they actually did this here. It works, but kind of, I don't know, like there's a lot that they actually had to sacrifice in order to do that. Let's bring these out. Let's bring these over here like so. These are the ribs of, or like a part of the belly of the rhino that's actually going to serve as like a part of the rib cage of Rhinox and everything, you know? So rhino mode into robot mode is kind of intuitive, kind of simple, but at the same time, there are a lot of things to look out for. We're going to take those parts of the arms. We're going to bring this out here. There we are. Now he's actually starting to look like Rhinox. Bring this down here. And now we're going to bring out his arms by, there we are. And then we'll rotate the hands outwards. Mine are actually kind of tight, so excuse me, everyone. There we go. Click that in. And let's see. Rotate the hands outwards. There we go. And now for the finishing touch, making his faux chest actually come out and putting everything in order. And there we are, Rhinox. Thank you for sitting through with me with this, guys. And now back over to the review for yesterday. So here we are, finally, both in robot modes. Rhinox versus Rhinox. Robot Mano versus Robot Mano. And let me tell you something, I really still think that this Rhinox is actually just the best out of like both Rhinoxes and everything, you know? I'm actually going to take you into a couple of things and all that here. Let's check these guys out and give you like a close personal opinion from a close personal friend of mine, Diecast Norbs. And here we go. So as we take a close look at both Rhinoxes, I can't help but think that one is actually so much better than the other. Let's take a look at Rhinox over here. Thrilling 30 Rhinox actually gave us so much. Like, look at this guy. He's even got the maximal head crest and everything like that on either side. With this guy, you actually see it. He's prompt. He's actually just really just awesome. With this guy, he's kind of like, I don't know, he kind of looks like he might be like a younger version of Rhinox or something, if you get me. You know, like, he doesn't have like the maximal crest on either point of his head or anything like that, which is actually kind of a shame because like it would have been nice to actually see that actually all happen. He's actually got this faux chest, which actually looks nice in person, and I really was actually just taking all kinds of shits over this guy and everything like that because like I really thought he was actually going to be just like weak, and he actually does have like a lot of weak points and everything. Like, I like the speckling that actually goes on into like the arms and everything like that, that's nice. His arms are actually okay also and everything, you know. I like the hands and everything like that. Like all the details that they actually gave him in his codpiece right over here, really nice. The rhino, the like texturing that they actually did over here was actually really nice also and everything. And they actually try to make him look as much of the part of the 90s anime and everything like that more than anything else. So I respect what they were actually trying to go for here. But with this Rhinox, this thrilling 30s Rhinox actually has everything going for him. He actually even looks more the part of Rhinox than anything else, you know? I love everything going on with like all the mechanical detailing and everything like that going on all throughout here and everything. I love the fact that he doesn't come with a faux mouth or anything like that. Like everything just like opens up. I love the fact that they actually put like the teeth on the inside and everything like that, which they actually totally miss with this guy. And I would have actually had like so much more fun if they decided to do it that way. Now, if you actually really wanted to, you could actually flip the mouth down into the back and everything like that to give him that appearance of Rhinox. But in my opinion, when you actually flip that mouthpiece down, he actually looks so much more weak and everything like that, in my opinion, you know? And I really wish that they actually could have actually done something a lot better. But look at this. I love the texturing that actually goes on in there. That's outstanding. I love the fact that like the belly pieces of the rhino actually becomes a part of the robot chest and everything. And did I mention that I love this? Like, I love the fact that they actually included like an actual transforming opening mouth and everything. Just very cool. And it takes like a designer that actually has like an amount of skill to actually still make this happen and make it work in a cohesive piece and everything like that, you know? And did I mention these weapons? They're great. These two Rhinoxes are actually really extraordinary. And, but, you know, it all depends on, like, what you're actually looking for and everything like that. The playability on both of them are outstanding. I'm going to go through, like, a little bit of articulation for you guys. In the battle between two Rhinoxes, only one can win. And I still say it's this one, loaded with personality. Look at this. So he actually does have a 360 for his head and everything like that. He actually goes, he can actually look up quite a bit. He can actually look down, kind of, you know what I mean? So, like, that's actually really nice. Just a really emotive, a very cool emotive face here and everything like that, an emotive head. I love that. He actually does have a lot of up. Doesn't break up the look of this at all, in my opinion, you know? I love the fact that he actually has a 360 right over here. Now, if you actually notice there may be like little breaks and everything like that, I will actually have to go back and super glue a couple of things here and there and everything like that, and just like fix this guy up to be like the more than I actually want him to be Rhinox and everything like that. But I'm still excited about this guy. He actually has like a little bit under 90 degrees over here, but that's okay. And like I said before, if you lock this in, he's not going anywhere whatsoever or anything like that, you know, but you actually do have to lock that in. Let's see. He actually has a bicep swivel right over here. Again, under 90 degrees, no articulation on his wrist or anything like that, which is actually a shame, but it does go out a little bit and goes in a little bit and everything as due to transformation. He actually does come with some waist swivel right over here, but you actually have to remove this hip skirt. If you decided to actually make him a little bit more stocky, you could actually do this and kind of like make him a little bit more stout and everything like that, you know. But my Rhinox is actually living large and everything like that, so I actually just brought that down a little bit and everything, so I actually have like a lot more in the way of like that V shape and everything like that that I think Rhinox should actually carry. He actually has, you can actually kick up that far, you can actually kick back that far, which is just great, you know. He actually has a supreme kung fu action right over here and everything like that, so watch out, Rhinox, you know. So like that's great. He actually has like a little bit under 90 degrees at the knee and everything, you know, so that's actually okay. And he actually does come with like a little bit of ankle tilt and everything. Not enough to like actually make everyone happy or anything like that, but enough to actually make me think that he's actually just like really worth his weight in gold and everything, you know? So again, a lot of people are actually looking for this guy and everything, you know, and I think that he's really well worth it if you can actually get him at a great price. With Kingdom Rhinox over here, he actually does have like quite a bit in the way of articulation also and everything. You can actually use this as like a outside and inside butterfly and everything, so that's actually kind of nice. He actually does come all the way out here, breaks up the transformation stupendously, you know, so that's one thing that actually kind of like makes me kind of down about this guy. He actually can look up slightly. He doesn't really look down or anything like that. He actually does have a 360 or anything, or, you know, but like, in my opinion, like you can actually like tilt his head back and forth, not as emotively as you actually do on Thrilling 30 Rhinox, but he actually does have some his emotive qualities there and everything. He actually has a little bit under 90 degrees right over here for the bicep. I'm sorry, for the bicep curl over here and everything. He actually does come with like bicep articulation right over here. He rotates by the bicep. He actually has not really a 360 turn or anything like that. It is actually kind of like it's actually kind of like hindered by these teeth right down here. He can actually kick out about that high, which isn't bad. He can actually kick out pretty much the same as like the other Rhinox actually does, so that's not bad. He actually does have a little bit of kung fu action and everything. Not as much as this guy, but he actually does have it. He also has like thigh rotation right over here. You can actually shift this any way you want to. He actually has 90 degrees of articulation right over here by his knees. He actually has an ankle tilt and dorsiflexion, and you know, does that make him better? No, not in my opinion at all or anything like that. Does it make him more stable? No, not really. You know what I mean? Like, he actually does have the better feet, but when I actually kind of like pose him in any which way, it does take me a long time to actually stand this guy, much like this guy also, you know? Like, I actually have to say they're kind of like both equaled in that respect. And also, let me just check this guy. Oh, and this Rhinox actually has thigh rotation, so you know? I just wanted to make sure that this guy actually had all of that going and everything, you know? Because, like, I would actually be kind of sad if my guy over here was actually, like, any less than this guy over here or anything. You know, come on, stand. Don't make me a liar, Rhinox. There we go. But I'm going to go into weapons next. These guys decided to have an arm wrestling competition while we're talking about their weapons, you know? And yeah, I kind of think that this one is actually so much better. Like, just the fact that it actually kind of like has this whole thing where he actually spins and everything like that, and it just looks like it's just so functional. The only thing that's actually wrong about this weapon is the fact that it doesn't come with I would love for it to come with blast effects parts and everything like that, because that's where this one will actually come shining through, because this will actually be blast effects compatible, you know? But this one actually looks like it's actually so much more doable and everything like that. Like, you could actually see this as a Gatling gun, especially from the side profile and everything. It looks like it's actually supposed to be like a really cool laser gun. With this guy, it's actually kind of a pea shooter. I mean, I know you can actually like make the blast effects work, where this guy actually looks like he's actually like a lot more powerful and everything like that. But there we go. I'll actually put on the blast effects on this and show you guys. And one of the last things I'm actually going to talk about on this is blast effects and everything, you know? Because on Thrilling 30, I can't really utilize the blast effects or anything like that, but he actually, as I said before, he actually has this spinning thing, which actually makes him just come so much more alive to me and everything like that, you know? The blast effects on this guy, does it make him better? No. it actually just makes them current, you know? And I like that you can actually use the blast effects, and at the same time, I just wish it were actually just like more well done and everything, at least the gun part of it and everything, you know, because like I really do feel like for a character like Rhinox, you know, who I'm actually a big fan of, I just really think that they could have actually like just given him something a lot better to be utilized with these blast effects and everything, you know, because like I think that he could have actually just been like so much better than he actually is right now. When I was actually like thinking of Rhinox, I was thinking, yay, we might be getting a better character than Thrilling 30. Let's see what happens. But he fits in really well with the rest of the cast and everything. It's just that I really think that they could have actually done so much better with with a great character like Rhinox. The one clever thing that I actually have to say about Thrilling 30 Rhinox is that they actually do give him like some weapon storage, and you can actually take these Gatlings and kind of like just put them right against the post, right, like put these posts right into the back over here, which is actually kind of nice and everything. So like if he's not using his weapons, or you're not like putting his weapons in his hands or anything like that, there he goes, and you can actually like store his weapons over there and everything like that, which is actually kind of nice and everything, you know. But also with Thrilling 30 Rhinox, you can actually implement weapon storage like this. You can actually just like take this off and then just put them right into the back of his shoulders right over here, which is actually very, very cool in my opinion. There we go, and there we are. So he's actually got weapon storage too, so like one way or the other, like the way this guy is actually designed and everything like that, I still think that he's actually great. Not only that, but I also think that this version of Rhinox is actually like so much more solid. I mean, yeah, if you actually remove this, you actually have like the illusion of this actually all broken and everything, unless you're actually squashing this pelvic area into his into this cavity right over here, then you're not really missing anything, you know. But as far as Kingdom Rhinox is actually concerned, I don't know. I think there are a couple of places here where it kind of makes me feel as though some of the gifts of toy making is actually evolving, and then there are also some things where I actually feel as though, you know, like look at this, like the way like this actually comes out in the back, and I know that we're not going to be looking at him from the back or anything like that, but like still yet though, there's so many spaces that could have actually just like used a lot more TLC and everything, you know. This is actually like these two are actually ports and everything like that, where you could actually put weaponizers and everything like that. So that's actually cool. But I just really wish that they could have actually filled out a couple of things here and there and everything. So, you know, third parties, you're actually going to have some work cut out for you with Rhinox and everything, you know. But aside from that, he's actually really not too bad. I kind of like him and everything like that. He's not really growing on me as much as, say, Thrilling 30. I mean, I still love Thrilling 30 a lot more than, like, Kingdom Rhinox and everything. So I think he's actually okay. But, like, aside from that, this guy still has, like, everything that Rhinox should actually... Yeah, Rhinox, you lay down now. Yeah, that's right. You know, I still think Thrilling 30 is actually definitely the way to go and everything like that. Just like a lot more in the way of personality, a lot more in the way of functionality. He's just amazing. Sorry to you guys and girls who actually are fans of this version of Rhinox and everything like that. I'm just calling it how I'm actually calling it here and everything like that. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to like really go with my opinion or anything like that. I'm just gonna give you another comparison. And here we are for last comparison. I'm gonna give you Rhinox with Maximal Crew. And here we go with Chad, Rhinox, and Rat Trap over here with the Maximal Crew. And either way, whichever way we are actually collecting and everything like that, Rhinox is actually just like really extraordinary and everything, you know? And even if you actually decided to go with Thrilling 30 version of Rat Trap, or for your Predacons with Waspinator, they actually are great. I love all of these figures and everything like that so much. So like, whichever one you actually decide to get get the one that you actually love the most and everything like that. I think they were actually fantastic. I'm going to give you my final views in just a moment. So, in the plight of the story of two Rhinoxes, which one is actually the best? Now, personally, I'm actually going to go for the Thrilling 30 and everything. You know, I think he actually does amazingly with everything that he actually does, you know. Personally, he's actually kind of like my pick. I'm not going to say that this guy isn't going to grow on me and everything, because like pretty soon I'm going to be playing around with him some more, and all of a sudden I'm going to be like, oh shit, he's amazing, you know. But I really do think that the big winner is anyone who actually gets their hands on either one of these, because these are actually just both fantastic toys in their own rights and everything, you know. So take it from me, if you guys get a chance to like actually get both of them, get them. If you get a chance to get one, this guy, I'm actually just going to give like this one top ratings. He actually gets it great, you know. For this guy, he's pretty okay, you know what I mean? Like, I really like this guy a lot too, but there are different reasons why I think this guy actually just like went hands over feet, you know, and I love this guy and everything like that. Like, he is just like really my top choice. But if you didn't get a chance to get this guy is actually just like a really worthy addition to your collection. So that's it for me. Thanks for joining me again, everyone. You know I took like a long time off and everything. You know, there's like lots to talk about still and everything. You know, I will be back, and I look forward to seeing you all here. Remember, whatever you do, the Galactic Hooligan always says that the best thing that you can actually do is be kind. Be kind to each other, yourselves, and to everyone around you, and pay it forward. Also, when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. Take care, everyone. I'll definitely talk to you soon.